escape this nightmare.
Makes perfect sense. I don't know why I didn't think about it, because that Why, hello YouTube. This is Balor Mage again, back with day 5. This was our first day doing a real farm the whole day. Today's a lot of updates happened. First of all, I went and got quite a bit of extra gear. We will go over the gear in a moment, but there were a lot of gear upgrades. I finished spending basically all my money upgrading my gear to make the character faster, better, harder, stronger. Anyway, got through all of that. We'll go over the gear in a minute, but did all that stuff and then was like, okay, what is the farm going to be? And so I decided on just boss rushing continuously. So we have a new Atlas set up. It wasn't a huge respec from where I was at, but we dropped Harvest. Harvest gave us enough money to do the respec. Maven, we were doing destructive play to begin with, but I found that with the level of power that I had, it was feeling a little too slow and a little too dangerous. So I decided, what is the absolute least investment that I could do that would still make me a lot of money today? And the least investment that I could do was what I'm going to call go and go instead of alk and go. So what we've done the entire day is run for probably 8 hours Mesa and about an hour and a half Jungle Valley. Not all at once, but occasionally we have to ping pong to Jungle Valley to replenish our Mesa maps. And we've been running them how they drop. So if they're rare, they get run rare. If they're magic, they get run magic. If they're white, they get run white. We do not care. The entire idea about this strategy is that we pop the Delirium Mirror if we see it. Spawns about 50% of the time. Get 4, sometimes 5 stacks of rewards, usually just 4. And otherwise, kill the boss, leave. Kill the boss, leave. Kill the boss, leave. Kill the boss, leave. Just new map. We're looking at new maps every 30 seconds. And so, if we jump in today and have a look at what that has accomplished, here we are in game. There's some new gear on, but we'll get to that in a moment. This dump tab is just getting used to dump stuff, so don't worry about that. But this is our raw currency stash tab. But that does not tell you the full picture. So I have already sold all the red invites, but we have an absolute ton of other stuff. For instance, quite a lot of Ickers, including a decent amount of grand Ickers. We have gotten a pretty okay amount of whatever these are called, Guardian maps. Pretty good on those. And also a ton of Delirium Orbs. And we plugged everything into PoE stack. Loaded up just our fragment, currency, essence, card, and Delirium tabs just together. And that totals us with 112 div. Which is a pretty good for a day, a single day of no investment, negative investment. This is less investment than Alk and Go. There are no scarabs. There are no sextants. I've never scoured a map. I never Alk a map. I never roll a map. I never put any chisels on maps. Nothing. Absolutely zero investment. It's self-sustaining and over-sustaining its map supplies. I have sold, I think, 120 excess jungle valleys today. More than what I needed to run myself. I have plenty of those left over as well. Those are not in the sale tab, so those aren't counted in that. I will be selling the majority of this. It is worth noting that while it does say 112 div total, most of that comes from this front page. Anything lower than this will be little stacks of little things where you could get 40C for this and 20C for that and 30C for that. So I won't be selling all of those things. Those are quite annoying. We won't be doing that. But like, we've got a few formed invites that are 1.7 div each, a few Elder Slayer invites, 2.2 each, lots and lots of whetstone of delirium orbs. These are actually significantly higher than PoE stack prices them because they price them in the single orb tab. But I'm not going to be running single orbs. I'm not going to sell single orbs. I'm going to sell these probably 6 to a div. So on my rough estimate is that when I'm done selling all of this, I'll have somewhere around 100 div. That's going to get us the headhunter. So we should be in a headhunter tomorrow if I have time in the morning to sell everything, which hopefully I will. So that'll be the headhunter upgrade tomorrow. And then we're probably going to start a different farm that has a little bit higher investment. So what's the farm? How does it work? Have a quick look. This is how our atlas looked. I will link this atlas tree in the description of the video. So basically all we've done here is guarantee 100% connected maps, 100% chance to get connected maps with Wandering Path, take every single map duplicate node on the entire tree because we are trying to maintain our entire map supply and hopefully over sustain when we're not even alking maps, which is insane. And then we've taken all of the chance for delirium mirrors, chance for delirium mirrors, chance for delirium mirrors. We've taken this one for increased delirium orb drops, and we've taken this wheel here for reward progress, and this side was for splinters. The one that I link to you will be slightly different from this tree, and it's just here because I think I had this area wrong. We do want these duplicate nodes, but there are 3 nodes here to connect and only 1 node here to connect, so that saves me 2. And after having played it all day, I've decided that these splinter stack sizes ones, they were worth nothing. So I'm going to reconnect there instead of there, drop those 2. The extra nodes are just going to go into some more 10% chance to drop 1 tier higher nodes. The more map sustain we have, the better. Over sustaining is not a bad thing in this tree. The maps sell for plenty. It's like 3 div for 60 maps. So that's fine. Very happy to be selling those. That was the whole strategy, the whole day. All we did was open Mesa, run in, kill the boss. If the delirium mirror procs, we'll clear around the boss, which got us to at least 4 stack reward. Hit the end button, kill the boss. That's it. I maintained I spent about an hour running Jungle Valleys and then about 6 hours running Mesa from the amount of maps that you get from running an hour's worth of Jungle Valleys. So all self-sustained, made us a really good amount of money. That got us to, once I sell things, headhunter level. So that'll be great. So what did we update? Well, for starters, we got a new bow. This bow is 1213. Now this bow actually cost me 9.5 div. I could have spent 7.5 div to get the same DPS, but the same DPS bow was not in a Marketh base. I love Marketh bases for movement speed, so when appropriate, when it's not a crit build and I can like get away with it, I will pick a Marketh bow when appropriate. So we got that. We got a new Defiance of Destiny, one we could actually anoint. We put Deadly Draw on it for now. Eventually it'll be Dual Curse. In my final setup, it'll be Dual Curse and we'll be wearing the Temp Chains gloves. But for now, Deadly Draw is fine. It was very cheap. The amulet itself was, I think, 4 div for a decently well-rolled one. It does not have catalysts, although I dropped 1 catalyst. So now it has 1% life and mana modifier, which changed nothing. But when I get more of them, I'll put them on. We got new jewels. So our jewel in our belt, quite a bit better. Good flat damage and some life. We got a different abyssal jewel over here. It's also quite good. I forget how much the jewels were. I think they were 1 and 2 div, but I forget which one was which. I also paid 1.5 div for a different corrupting blood jewel. Corrupting blood immunity is super important. We still needed it, but I wanted something because my old corrupting blood had nothing. So this has at least 14% damage with two-handed weapons, which a bow still counts. So that happens, and it's got damage over time multi with the corrupting blood immunity. So that's great. And you might notice we also have a cluster jewel. This isn't the ideal cluster jewel. The ideal cluster jewel is actually a bow cluster jewel with some specific nodes we'll get upgraded into probably later, but those perfect ones cost 7 to 9 divines, and this one cost me 2.5. So chaos will do. We are a poison build. This is fine. Got us into 3 notable chaos and then into 1 flask cluster. Again, this one is not perfect. I need spiked concoction. I do not need peak vigor. There is a different notable whose name I remember that has I can't remember, that has 24% damage over time, and I think some flask charges or flask charges gained or flask effect or something of that nature. That was the one I was hoping to hit, but I didn't hit it. I hit that one, so that's the one I've got. And we put in a thread of hope. This thread of hope in bow builds is absolutely disgusting. We hit 50% damage, 24% damage and 8 all res and some crit, some movement speed and suppress if you're into that thing. I'm not. You get to keep this node without taking the travel, so you get aspect of the eagle there as well. When you're not running blood notch tech, when you're trying to not be stunned, you get to take this one for more movement speed and more stun avoidance. You get to take both additional arrows. This is actually one of the highest value threads on the entire tree. It is a disgusting thread. It did cost a few divines. I got a decently good one. Yeah, it was, I think it was 3 or 4 divines. I think I paid 4. Hang on, notes. I did pay 4. Right. I paid 4 for mine. It's decent. There were perfect ones up, but they were like 12, which is ridiculous. I'll just take this one. This is fine. So there's that. We did exactly what I said we were going to do to respec into all of that, which is we dropped this wheel up here, we dropped this wheel here, and then we dropped all the points that were traveling to those nodes to fit everything in. So those were all of the upgrades we made today. And then after making all of those upgrades, then made our way all the way up to the 112 div, just from a 0 investment, absolutely nothing going on at all, go and go strat, which is ridiculous. We do have a path of building over here. You can see our damage has gone up quite a bit. This is still not like disgusting damage. We're still only at 4 mil, but 4 mil is more than enough to do everything that we need to do right now. So I've been pretty happy with it. Much happier at this speed because we've got a Marketh bow, and on the few extra movement speed nodes on the tree, plus a lot more damage, everything went swimmingly, quite a bit better than it was. So very happy with that. That's got us prepared to buy our headhunter tomorrow and maybe start a slightly higher investment strat. Not super high investment. I still want to keep this pretty like low key, easy to do, not spending a bunch of time buying juice. So we're still going to stick to basic things, but maybe a little bit less basic than today. All right, that is all. It's been a fantastic journey so far. Hopefully in tomorrow's video, we're wearing a headhunter. And I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.